Mustn't forget the old microphone. Lovely. Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome. Oh, let me just put this on all messages. There we are. Splendid. A very warm welcome to Thursday Night Live with me, Boaty, coming live into your eyes and ears direct from Windy Bottom here in the Peak District National Park. Oh, yes. And sorry I'm a little bit late today and a little bit flustered. I was late getting in. Cheers, darlings. Up yours. Bottoms up. So it's Thursday. Whoa, last one of the week, and you know Thursdays, anything goes. So hit me up with anything you care to name, and we will roll with it. We will roll with it like two puppies fighting and rolling down a hill with a sausage that they've both clenched in their in their in their young jaws. Sorry, I had to stop that because I thought it doesn't work. If they were genuinely clenching a sausage in their young jaws, then unless it was a frozen sausage, they'd just bite through it, wouldn't they? And, well, I suppose they'd continue rolling down the hill if they'd already started, and they'd probably roll in quite close proximity, wouldn't they? Unless there was a tussock, unless one of them hit a tussock, which sent them in a slightly different direction. I mean, you know, we we can't know, can we? Right, you're going to have to excuse my voice again, darlings. I'm feeling better today than I did yesterday, and yesterday I felt better than I did the day before. But I've still got the coffee spluttery thing going on, and my voice is still a bit compromised, shall we say. Lovely word, that, compromised. One of my favourite words beginning with a C. And I was just about to launch feature one. What is your favourite word beginning with a C? But then I remembered that I'm talking to you lot, and that would be very unwise. Now, excuse me being rude, but that was an eBay message. That must be about the car. Let's have a look. Diddly-doo. Sorry, not exactly great broadcasting, is it? Oh, okay. Hi, I'm interested in your Rover 25. Oh, good. I currently have a 98 200 that needs to come off the road after 8 years faithful service for some TLC. The problem I have is the car's in the Peak District and I'm in Bournemouth. Need to get round the logistics of getting to you. Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's not in the Peak District anymore. It's now in the bloody Pennines. I've been watching the videos on YouTube. I agree with you. The 200/25s are truly amazing cars. I have your number, so we'll ring tomorrow. Oh, there we are. Mustard. Mustard, if you're watching, or anybody else actually, do you fancy delivering a car to Bournemouth with me? Be a day out at the seaside, wouldn't it? Where is Bournemouth anyway? I've never been to Bournemouth. Shall I have a look? This is terrible broadcasting. I mean, my live streams are bad enough at the best of times, but these are the worst. Oh, talking about cars for sale. Today I went to work in Miss Boo, the Land Rover, but I've come home in Melanie Minchbag, the MGTF, because couple of people have threatened to come round at the weekend to view it with a view to buying it. And I sincerely hope they don't, because it's a fabulous car. Bournemouth. Oh, God, it's right down at the bottom. Oh, dear me. Oh, I didn't realise it was there. So from here, loading. 226 miles, 3 hours and 58 minutes. Well, that's not too bad, is it? I mean, I picked Wet Leg up from down there, and Dicker Dum Dum. It's doable. It's not a problem. My God, I mean, people talk about the logistics of distance. We live on a small island. There was a YouTube video that popped up on my feed the other day where a Scottish lady drove from one end of England to another in 6 hours or something. How far away could you be? Right, let's catch up with you. Let's catch up with you, lovely lad. Good evening, Barry. That guy from City Alpha 5. Jimmy Quinn is here. Good evening, Boaty. Good evening, Jimmy. Steve Colg is with us. Good evening to you. Hello, old fella, says Lord Stiff Upper Lip. Hello to you. Joe is here. Cars with JC. Good evening, Jason and all. Diddly do. Barry Scrotter is here. Hello and good evening from the yard of damp despair. Good evening to you, Barry. Bad Books is with us. Evening all. James Ray is with us. Oh, it's Jim, isn't it? Jim, I forgot you introduced yourself last night. You are Jim and you are from Scotland. I remember that. Lovely to have you back with us, Jim. Hope you're doing okay. Hello all, says Neil, aka the Gibbinator, aka the very nice man. How are we all doing tonight? Well, hopefully everybody's doing okay. And I hope that you're doing okay, Neil. More to the point, are you working tonight? Dad Smith is with us. Evening, Boaty, and good evening, chat. My goodness me, the Peak District Viking has popped in and says, evening all. Now, who is it that keeps... One of my friends keeps banging on about you, Mr. Peak District Viking. I think I did leave a comment, didn't I? Or sent a message or something, and we had a little chat. I'm wet and I don't like it, says Barry. And oh right, okay. I think it's Barry who kept banging on about the Peak District. I mean, that's a brilliant channel name, isn't it? I'm jealous. The Peak District Viking. Oh, that would have made my channel sound much more exotic and windswept and interesting. I could have been the Peak District Viking. And instead of that, it's Bounty's World, Mr. Bounty, Mr. Boaty. I'd much rather have been the Peak District Viking. I could have turned up at Pride of Longbridge wearing a great big shaggy giant haystacks coat and a bloody great trilby with massive great horns coming out. I really missed a trick there. And I sincerely hope that the Peak District Viking makes the bloody most of it and goes out to his local pub dressed up like a Viking, like the Peak District Viking. And I mean, if you're going to go that far, then a little bit of pillage here and there wouldn't go amiss, would it? I believe that you're allowed to do that sort of thing when you're a Viking. Welcome anyway. Joe says, I think I've got the same virus as you, Jason, and it's horrid. It really is, Joe, so I send you my sympathy. Barry Scrotter has a question. Boaty, where do you get that moist water from that you parboiled your potatoes in? I got the moist water directly from the tap, Barry. I find it a very convenient source of the moist water, although it's not as common as the other kind of water, which is which is all around us in gaseous form. Oh, Barry, I can't read that out. I can't read that out. But I mean, the answer is no, as far as I'm aware. He hadn't mentioned it to me anyway. But oh, that sounds good, Jason, says Joe. A buyer that's an enthusiast. Um, oh, and another question from Barry. Can you fill a City Rover with concrete and will the suspension fail? Well, yes, you could if you wanted to, but what would be the point? And would the suspension fail? Well, yeah, I imagine it would. Bournemouth is on the south coast. You plank, says Mustard. All right. I've never been to Bournemouth. Shoot me. I didn't know where it was. I mean, I knew it wasn't in the north. I knew it wasn't in Scotland, and I knew it wasn't in Wales. I had a feeling it was on the east coast somewhere, but it's not. It's right down there by Southampton-y sort of way, you know, pretty much as far as you can go without getting your feet wet. Be a good road trip though, wouldn't it, for an old car delivery? Like I say, I did it with Wet Leg and Sir Richard and Lady Morris, Dick a Dum Dum. It's not a problem. You got the whole day to do it. It's in Dorset, says the Viking, and you'll only visit once. I see. HW100 or HW100 or HW Gentle is with us. Good evening, a jolly good evening to you. Lovely to have your continued company. It's been lovely having some new faces these last couple of weeks. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love all of you old faces. I love you dearly. I tell you frequently, my adoration for you is virtually unsurpassed. A normal person would struggle to simply comprehend the enormity of the incredible affection that in which I hold each and every one of you. And I would genuinely love to hold you all in a firm, manly embrace and gently squeeze you until you wet yourself. Oh, it's the other side of Exeter Way, says Joe. Thank you. Bum, bum. Welcome to Dorset. You'll never leave. So, oh, it'll take 4.5 hours in reality, says Buddy Scrutter. Well, that's all right. 9-hour round trip. And, you know, in a day that you've got 18 hours to do it in. Oh, I'm so sorry. That. Now, I speak about this quite frequently. One of the perils of live broadcasting is the unsolicited wine burp, and it can happen to anybody. We've all seen it on television. Frank Boff, Selena Scott, Sir Trevor McDonald, Esther Ranson. They've all released a full-on wine burp without meaning to, whilst broadcasting live. It happens. We just have to deal with it and move on as best we can, darlings. And, you know, I extend my sympathies to you for having to experience it in the same way that I'm sure that you extend your sympathies for me for having to experience it in a much more personal and physical way. I want, says Barry Scrotter, and Barry, can I just point out to you that my mother always said that I want had a party and no one came. There you are. I want to take my golf to Land's End at some point. Okay, well, I mean, do it. I've been to Land's End, and I've also been to the southernmost point of England, which is Lizard's Point, I believe. Good evening, all, says Chris McGuire, and a jolly good evening to you. Oh, Sean is with us as well. My goodness me, my cup overfloweth. Did you see the Northern Lights video? And hopefully the rain will stop for your visit. Sean, I'll tell you the truth. I've been saving that I've upgraded you. I have promoted you to pole position in my YouTube video watching racing grid, if you like. Now, my favorite time of the night is the last hour before I go to bed. Not my favorite time of the night. That's my favorite time, full stop. My favorite time of the day or night. And not just now while I'm a single sad old hermit living alone at a damp old cottage in the arse end of nowhere. It was always my favourite time of the night when I was married and had family and whatnot as well. You know, that oasis of calm and peace when the wife and kids have gone up to bed and you're just downstairs with your thoughts and Radio 4 and the midnight news and the national anthem and the shipping forecast. And I still have that time now, although I will admit, to my almost eternal shame, I have given up Radio 4 in the house. I listen to it all the time in the cars, but I don't have Radio 4 on in the house anymore, whereas it used to be my constant companion. Excuse me, I'm going to have to cough again. Because two reasons. One is that I'm just always busy now, and I tend to be busy doing the kind of thing that either means that I'm outside of the house or I'm in the house, but I'm doing things that I need to concentrate on or listen to, like filming or editing videos or whatnot. And in the late night slot, then I like to watch my very favorite YouTube videos. And for a while now, my favorite YouTube videos have been Harry's Garage. And so I will save them for the end of the night for my special video where I've done everything that I need to do. The live stream is done. Whatever I need to do in the cottage is done. And I can finally just turn off and have however long, half an hour, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, with my supper and with the last bit of a bottle of wine and watch one of my favorite videos. And Sean, I was going to watch yours first thing. You upload them at an ungodly hour of the morning. So I got the notification as soon as I woke up this morning, and I was going to watch it over my morning coffee and toast, but I had a lot of editing to do today, and I thought, no, I don't want to half watch it. You know how sometimes you have videos on in the background? I'm sure a lot of you do that with mine. And I thought, I don't want to do that with this one because this one's a little bit more personal. I mean, it's Rickhouse Mountain. It's my history, my childhood. And so I thought, I don't want to half watch it. I will promote it to the premium slot tonight. So that is a long answer to a short question. No, I've not seen it, Sean, but I can't wait. And I will be watching it probably at about 1 a.m. when this is done, when I've done the other bits and pieces, pottering round, tidying up that I need to do, getting a bit of supper on, although supper is going to be dead easy tonight. Supper, I'm having something that I haven't had for a while. And I don't know why I haven't had it for a while, because it's a wonderful thing. And it's so simple. I made it at work. I only need to just ping it up in the microwave. Chicken sekwa with naan bread. Simple as that. That's it. If you don't know what chicken sekwa is, it's a Nepalese dish. And it is chicken with peppers, onion, ginger, fresh green chilies, and lots of herbs and spices. And it is hot. And I mean spicy. It is very, very hot. And it is fabulous, just eaten very simply with a naan bread. Best way to eat it, just naan and sekwa. And so that's going to be a dead easy supper to make tonight. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to that video. So Joe says, 6 hours I've got to drive on Monday to the Yard of Dreams. Yeah, it's a fair old journey. I was talking to Mustard about that, Joe. But again, you've got all day to do it. And it's a road trip and it's a bit of fun. Oh, although I hope you're feeling better by then, mate. Road trips aren't quite so much fun when you're feeling a little bit under the weather, are they? Oh, and Sean says hi to everyone, which is nice. Oh, and Jimmy Quinn says to Sean, Excellent video today. So there you go. Jimmy Quinn is a better super fan than I am. He's actually watched it already. Or am I a bigger and better fanboy than Jimmy Quinn because I've saved it for my prime position video? It is comical, the idea. I mean, this fanboy thing, it's a real thing, isn't it? God almighty. I mean, I'm 50 something years of age, and I still get all childish and giggly when somebody that I admire rocks up. I got nervous when I met James, and he was lovely. And obviously, I got incredibly awestruck when I met Allegro Man. I mean, that was like meeting the king. Now then! Oh, I did leave a comment, says the Peak District Viking. I remembered that. Well, I remembered I'd done something. Andrew is here. I've a spotty botty. Hi, everyone. Hope I haven't missed much. Just got back from the doctors. No, you've not missed much. The Peak District Viking has popped in. We've got let me just point out that the Peak District Viking is a YouTube megastar, as indeed is the lovely Sean, who is also here amongst us. My live streams are just becoming a celeb fest because Captain Mustard is here as well of the Project Nigel channel, the most famous Rover 25 based channel in the entire known universe. Honestly, it is just a celeb fest here these days. Joe's here, Simone's here, all of these massive YouTubers, all of these wonderful YouTubers tuning in to watch me, who is less successful than any of them. Tell me what the secret is. Oh, what is the secret to your success? Neil, what's the Peak District pervert taken then, Boaty? That would be more fitting. And Mustard says, change your channel name to something less camp. Yeah, yeah, I know that now, don't I? The Peak District Viking is bloody brilliant, isn't it? What a fantastic channel name. And now I'm just going to be annoyed for the rest of my life that I didn't think to call myself that. Right, let's try and think of another channel name for me then. I've changed it once, I can do it again. Oh, I've got one. Right, so you got the Peak District Viking. Right. How about this? How about this? Stick with Boaty, right? But make me sound a bit more menacing. Call me Big Boaty. Big Boaty. Right? Now, as you know, because I'm incredibly cool, I'm a massive fan of the Archers. God. All the cool kids love the Archers. And indeed, I once lived on the outskirts of the village of Inkbarrow, which is the village on which the fictional Archers village of Ambridge was based. And I did a gig. I sang in the pub that the pub in the Archers was based on, which has got pictures of the cast on every wall and all of that. And some of them actually turned up for my gig. It was a fun gig, that. Probably the smallest venue I've ever done, because you know me, I was an absolute megastar. I did the NEC, for heaven's sake. But seriously, I never did pubs. I did clubs, theatres, halls, venues, you know. But I never did pubs apart from that one and maybe one or two others as favours. And my show didn't really fit into a pub. But we did that one. We did that. It was some kind of Archers special occasion reunion thing. I can't remember what it was. I'll tell you what I can remember about that, to be honest. the night got bloody ruined. God, I'd forgotten about this. It was a good gig. It was a really good gig. But at the time that I did that, I was seeing the second generation Chinese madam. Now, Chinese madams over my life have been a bit like Doctor Who. They tend to regenerate into different ones. So obviously, you're all very familiar with the notion of the latest and probably last iteration of Chinese madam from just a year or two ago. The original Chinese madam was the daughter of the Chinese ambassador in London, who was actually a UK-based barrister. And oh God, we were together for quite a while. That was I actually lived in London with her for a while. I think I've told you a few stories about that. Her name was Leun, which translates literally to happy cloud, which is quite ironic because she was miserable quite a lot of the time. Would have been much more fitting for the most recent Chinese madam. She was much more of a happy cloud. Leun was a bit moody and high maintenance, but I was, young and stupid at the time, and I still thought that having a trophy fiance was a really good thing. So, if you've got somebody who's incredibly beautiful, rich, a barrister, and her father is an important diplomat, I thought, well, you're doing all right here, son, aren't you? For a little Welsh boy from the valleys who was dragged out of the valleys, shoved into an expensive school, yanked out of an expensive school when his father went poor, and was then dragged up on a council estate in the secondary modern system. So I was quite proud of myself for that. But anyway, the second iteration of Chinese madam was called Ling Li. And she was quite a big, tall thing. I do like a big, tall, skinny woman with non-intimidatory boobs. You know me, I'm terrified of intimidatory boobs. And she fitted the bill jolly well. And she'd worked for PepsiCo. And then she was headhunted by what are they called? God, I've got Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. I've got HMRC. The bank, what's the bank called? Used to be Midland Bank. And then they became 4 letters. Oh, Christ, I can't remember. HSBC, that's right. She was headhunted by HSBC to come over to the UK because she had perfect English and set up specific branches in every Chinatown area of every city in the UK. So I met her when she was actually in the UK, and we got together, all of the normal thing. She was living with me, and I was with her when I did this Archers gig, and she was another moody cow. She was like Leun looking back. I mean, oh God, do you get that thing when you're young and you get some amazing woman and they're absolutely amazing to look at, amazing to hold? Other people think better of you because you're with them. They're a massive ego thing, but they're absolute pains in the ass to live with. And when you're younger, you think, well, I'm happy with that balance. That is acceptable to me. At the age I am now, I'd say, bollocks to that. You make me miserable, bugger off. But back in the day, it was different. So I'm doing this Archers gig. It's really, really fun gig, really great to do. And she disappears out onto the car park very visibly. And she's all in a mood. And then a load of us came back to my place. And she just took herself off to the bedroom. Didn't want to be part of it. And then sent me a text message. God, I remember this as if it was yesterday. Sent me a text message from the bedroom to take her in some headache tablets For God's sake, talk about doing the bloody dying swan. She's only in the sodding bedroom, and we're having a bit of an after show party. God, she was like that. But anyway, going back to my new channel name. See, I always remember what I'm talking about. Eventually, it might take a week or two. Obviously, The Archers is set in the fictional county of Borsetshire. So, in a sense, I lived in Borsetshire. So, how's about this for the new channel name? Big Boaty, the Borsetshire Bull Buggerer. Yeah, that's got to be up there with the Peak District Viking, hasn't it? And it would also make a great wrestling name for when I start my international YouTube tag team wrestling kick-ass challenge, or whatever it is we're going to call it. I mean, the Beige Bomber's a good name. Neil's fighting name, the Very Nice Man, is a good name, but it's not up there with Big Boaty, the Borsetshire Bull Buggerer, is it? That's a proper name. That's, me and the Peak District Viking, we would strike fear into the hearts of the Beige Bomber, and whatever it was we decided Captain Mustard was going to be called. What were we going to call him? Captain Beefheart or something? Oh, dear. Right, where did I get to? Oh, yes, that's right. Good evening, Boaty and all, says the lovely Stephanie Smith. Sorry, I wasn't well yesterday. Had to go to bed early. Don't apologise for that, my lovely. We send our sympathies. Justin was watching, but he has no access to my YouTube account, so there were no comments from us yesterday. Do you not allow him to have his own YouTube account? Is he not permitted for some reason? Do you not trust him? Do you think he'll be going on some dodgy channels? Mind you, after what he was asking about the dogging locations, then it might be wise to restrict his access. I don't want to cast aspersions on anybody, Steph, but if I were you, I would put the parental controls on the family computer and television and everything. And don't let him take his portable electric telephone up to the bedroom on his own. Make sure he leaves it downstairs on the dining table. You can't be too careful, that's what I say. Oh, you do have to watch yourself in this modern digital day and age. The Peak District drunkard, more like, says Ivor Spotty Botty. Well, I mean, that's just rude, isn't it? Rude. I mean, accurate, but rude. Actually, that would be a good channel title too, wouldn't it? The Peak District drunkard. Boaty, says Barry Scrotter, you would need a beard, fake or otherwise. Have you ever grown a beard? Yes, I have, kind of, Barry. Due to not entirely having gone through puberty yet, apparently. I can grow a moustache, I can grow a goatee, I can grow whatever you call an extended goatee, but this patch here, not so much. There's like, the bit that goes down my ear there, that's okay. But this kind of bit there, that is not a very hirsute area. So, I mean, I couldn't grow a beard like Mustard, but then who would want to? I mean, did you watch Mustard's live stream this afternoon? I was hosing myself. I was wetting myself. For some reason, an algorithm or something picked him up. He got 1,400 views and he got a load of people watching. And he got a lot of comments from completely random accounts. And some of them were hilarious. 2 people asked him, in all sincerity, "Are you homeless?" They were feeling sorry for him. They took a look at his hair and his beard and his general appearance and assumed that he was some homeless guy coming onto a YouTube live, presumably begging for money. Oh, I thought that is hilarious. And there were 2 or 3 people that thought he was gay. Be careful what you wish for. You get a bit of YouTube fame, and all it means is that random people from, one of them was in Korea, for goodness sake. So you get random people from Korea feeling sorry for you and saying, are you gay and homeless? Maybe I can help. Because I'm gay and homeless. Oh dear. Hello, John Stoodley is with us. Hey chat, hey Boaty. I'll be seeing John on Monday, along with Joe, who says, hi John, I'm looking forward to Monday, mate. Stephen S. Paul is with us from across the Heading Pond. Evening, pottering boatman and the rest of you. Yeah, let's do it, says Mustard. And some time has passed since my reading that comment of his, and whatever it was that I said that he's responding to. Now, I'm going to assume that that is in relation to delivering a car to Bournemouth, in which case I agree, let's do it. If that was in relation to you being gay or homeless or both, then let's not do it. I'm flattered, but I'm not that way inclined. Well, at least I'm not that desperate yet. Nothing against you personally. I think you're a splendid figure of a chap. Mrs. Mustard is a lucky lady, even if she's not allowed to be a person in her own right. And I'm sure that in terms of being slightly less than heterosexual, you are a great loss to that community, because despite appearances, I do happen to know that that Captain Mustard is actually straight. But I know, who knew? Well, obviously not that guy from Korea on his live stream. It was so funny. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, I'm up for a road trip down to Bournemouth. I'll have a chat with the guy on the phone tomorrow. I suppose it wouldn't matter the guys in the Pennines if we delivered it, would it? Because you'd just come down to me in the car. I'd take one of mine, we'd convoy down, come back together. And I don't know what would happen then. Either I'd have to take you back home, or you'd have to take one of my cars back home, and we'd sort something out. We'd sort something out. Just for God's sake, don't take Stigbutt, says Neil. It'll use 9 tanks of fuel. Yeah, it probably would. What would I go in if we went down to Bournemouth? Sheeson, I suppose. Sheeson would be Sheeson would be probably the best choice. A mixture of comfort, speed, and economy. Smash the like button, says Ivor Spotty Butty. Oh, and don't freeze the wine, Boaty, says Andrew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Caught it in time. Good man. Well done. Barney from The Simpsons used to burp a lot. He did. Barry Scrotter didn't mean Land's End. He's been there. He meant the northernmost point. And then he says that I'm an idiot. Right. Well, oh God. I mean, I don't know what the northernmost point of England is. I mean, obviously, the northernmost point of mainland UK is what's it, isn't it? Johnny Groats. That's a good question, that. What is the northernmost point of England? Simone is with us, hooked on classics. Hi, Simone. Hope you're doing well. I've been to England once, says Stephen S. Paul. Went to the Cotswolds. God awful. Way too dangerous. Would not recommend. I don't watch Harry's Garage, says Sean, but I do watch Harry's Farm. Uh, right, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's where interests lie, isn't it? I actually watch both. Um, Oddly enough, although I was brought up on and around farmland, it's not something I've taken a massive interest in my adult life, which is odd, especially considering that where I live here, I'm surrounded by farmland and nothing else. I mean, those of you who have been here, will know there's sod all here. There's no business, there's no retail, no nothing, just farmland and animals. I'm into farming now for the most ridiculous reason: Clarkson's farm. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Clarkson, have been for a long time. Big fan of Top Gear. Dealt with them back in the day, as you know. I sold Quentin Wilson a car. I bought one of the Top Gear cars. My Porsche 928 was a Top Gear car. And I think Clarkson's farm is fantastic. I'm also very much in love with his girlfriend, Lisa Hogan. That helps, bit of eye candy. But yeah, really into Clarkson's farm. And then I found Harry's Garage by accident. Of course, the thing I love about Harry's Garage, I mean, I think they're really well made amateur videos, which is what I like. He's a very personable and knowledgeable chap. I like the way that he does his videos, so that there's always a personal element to them, being road trips or whatnot. But I also love the fact that, and I've said it before, in his car collection, he has cars which I have also owned and no longer do. So, that has a particular personal interest for me. And there's quite a few, actually. There are quite a few. And even if the cars that I've not owned, there will be cars that were in my life for a particular reason. So, I mean, in terms of cars owned, oh God, I mean, what's on his permanent fleet now? Rolls Shadow, obviously I've had loads of those. Lamborghini Espada, I was talking about the other night. He's got Series 2. I had an S3, which I still think was a better car. Oh God, there's loads. I won't go through them all. But obviously, when I found out about Harry's farm, I started watching that as well, and it is fascinating. But Sean, for those of you who don't know, has got a horticultural bent. He's one of those chaps that was born with green fingers and a natural affinity for the land around him. And that was where his channel started out and stayed for quite a long time, really, wasn't it, Sean? And now it's morphing into something else and it's becoming stratospherically successful. So that's wonderful. Yeah, we're all sending condolences to John. He lost his friend last night. As I said last night, it's it's just horrible. It's horrible getting to the age where, God, it's like Pac-Man in a way, getting old. All of these things which are so easily avoided when you're young, you're at a bit of age, and it's like the inevitability of Pac-Man, where you just can't escape from these things. Your nearest and your dearest pass away and leave you. Old Father Time does weird things to you for no apparent reason, good reason anyway, other than shits and giggles. I mean, you get ridiculous hair growing in your ears, for God's sake. What's all that about? What is all that about? What is the point of ear hair? What is the point of aural hair? Now, I've managed to avoid so far. It'll get me in the end. Everything gets everybody in the end. I've managed to avoid some of it. The The worst thing that's hit me is, and it was always going to happen anyway because of my medical history and my disease and whatnot. But the old receding gums and tuss loss, that's hit me. But other than that, I haven't gone bald. I haven't gone totally grey yet. I haven't, sorry for mentioning this, but I don't have erectile dysfunction. What else have I managed to avoid? My scrotum isn't overly pendulous as yet. Oh, and amazingly, I still haven't got a grey pubic hair. I am 53 years of age and I've not got a single grey pubic hair. And no, I don't dye them. So on the whole, I've done very well, but it's only a matter of time, isn't it? I mean, I haven't got the stupid ear hair, although I've got, I get the odd one or two growing here or there. Some of my nasal hair appears to be trying to combine with the upper reaches of my moustache. But on the whole, the ravages of age have not been too unkind to me. And they've brought a level of wisdom and serenity that has made life a lot more pleasurable than in many ways than it was in the mad old days. Who's done that? Oh, Mark has gifted a membership. How exciting. Right, well, I'll play through the comments. Time's marching on, isn't it, my lovelies? And we'll find out who has copped for the gifted membership. Mark, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Ross is with us. Dino Dad, hey, Boaty and chat. How are we all? Simone watched Spartacus this evening, all 3 hours of it. Diddly-doo. Bloody hellfire. The Peak District Viking, I still love that name. I used to live in Shetland and work in Derby. That was a commute and a half every 3 weeks. Bloody hell. I bet it was brilliant, though. I'd love to do that. What did you do? Work on a lighthouse or something? Or were you one of those outdoorsy people who look after islands? Massive, says Simone. My channel is a blip in the ocean in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, but you personally, Simone, are a megastar. I mean, you are the darling of all the other channels. Everybody wants to get you on their channel. You are the ultimate channel guest of late. Big Boaty sounds like a bad guy in a Mega Drive game. Big Boaty and the shaft of... Oh, no, sorry. Big Boaty and his shaft of menace. God. Oh, dear. Big Boaty and the giant Norks. No, that's an anxiety dream. Oh, dear. Oh, John Stoodley has been a top-of-the-range connoisseur member now, channel member for 5 months, and says, glad to be a community member of kind people and, of course, Boaty. John, thank you for your continued support, mate. Means the world. Looking forward to seeing you on Monday, isn't it? Flying visit from Name Me -1. Hello, goodbye. Any news on your neighbour, Jason? Hope they're okay. No, Joe, no. Still not got a clue. Not a clue who it was, how they are. The only thing I've been able to deduce is it wasn't Nick or Julie. That's all I know, and I'm not going to go asking. It's nobody else's business, really, is it? So if I find out, I'll let you know. Pure Evil is here. Adam, evening all. Hope everyone's well. Oh, and Karen says thank you for your good wishes. Karen, of course, being Barry's other half, who had a bit of a relief with her test results, which was also a bit of relief for everyone. Hello, everyone, and Boaty, says the lovely Sophie. How are we all? I've just applied for a job at Screwfix as a retail assistant. Oh, good luck, my lovely. All I have to say is, says Baddy Scrotter, Thora Hurd farts the blues. Oh, and Jimmy F500 has asked the same question. No, I don't know which neighbour needed the emergency ambulance. Buddy Scratcher says, yes, Mustard's Live was really busy and very funny. Steph says, you're right, Boaty. He isn't allowed his own YouTube account. He's not to be trusted. And then follows it up by saying, in all honesty, he's not technical, doesn't do social media, etc. Good for him. I missed Mustard's Live, says Ivor Spotterbutty, but I watched the musical video with the tune Barry Shitpeas. I've had an idea about that. We should release that as a single. I've just got this idea. It would be really cool if Mustard and I wrote some verses for it, recorded a video, we sing the verses, all of you lot join in with the choruses, and then the very last chorus, we get the actual Barry Shitpeas, who I found out isn't the actual Barry Shitpeas, he's a television character, but I mean our Barry Shitpeas, who I also found out today is on our WhatsApp and Facebook stuff as Lloyd Annoyed. I had no idea he was Barry Shitpeas. But yeah, so the last chorus will be, they call him Barry Shitpeas. And then the camera will go to actual Barry Shitpeas, who just goes, because I shit peas. I just thought that would be funny. We should do more. There's so much stuff I want to do with you lot this year, including the Community City Rover. That's going to happen. There are 4 of us signed up to it so far, and hopefully more to come. So we can actually do this. We can make it happen, and it's going to be really good fun. And if it works with one car, then we can look at replicating it in the future with another car, and maybe at some point another car after that. I love the idea of community cars that get passed around the community, especially if they're passed around people with YouTube channels, because it'll make really good content, bring footfall to the YouTube channels. And at the end of the day, we'd be doing a good thing by keeping alive a car that arguably has some importance in terms of British heritage. So, Boaty, says Barry, Scrotter, if Mustard can grow a better beard, does it make him more of a man than you? No. Absolutely not. I could tell you what makes me more of a man than Mustard, but I'm not going to. Everybody sending Sophie their good wishes for the job applications. Oh, bless her. I get worried when... Oh, dear. Yeah. So you should play on that. Right. Now, I'm not being funny, and I'm sure that you do. I mean, you're lovely, you're kind, you're empathetic. People naturally enjoy your company. I mean, if you want to know what a person is like, look at how children and dogs react to them, right? Because children and dogs can sniff out a wrong un. And if you look at Soph, then she's just utterly lovely. And children intrinsically and inherently trust her. She's just a lovely person. And I'm sure that you do your best to work around your dyslexia and whatnot and to ignore it. Don't do the opposite. Play on it. Companies will have, right, I know this isn't in many ways this isn't a nice thing, but it's life, and in life you have to play the game and you have to play it to your own advantage. Now, companies will have a quota, so they will have a quota. They will have a quota of ethnicities, of this, that, and the other. So if I were you, I would play on the dyslexia card or the learning disability card and whatnot, and do everything you can to use it to your advantage. I mean, it might feel a bit in for a dig, or it might feel a bit undignified, but you know, as I say, it's life. You have to play the game, and if you get if you've got more chance of getting really good employment by extolling the difficulties that you've been landed with, rather than trying to work through them, then do it. I would play that card. Why not? I found out who Barry Shippees. I found out who Barry Shippees is on TV today. So did I, Barry Scratter. My wife likes that woman who does cunk on earth. Bournemouth in the Metro, says Barry Scratter. Bugger that. I wonder what happened with Barney the Streetwise, says Joe. Joe, I've got absolutely no idea. I presume it's been sold. He's taxed now. So he must have been sold, but I've got no idea who bought him. And I've certainly not heard a peep from Mad Metro Man. In fact, I'm starting to wonder if I dreamed that whole Christmas thing, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Berwick Tweed is the northernmost part of England, says the Peak District Viking. Thank you for that. And UK is Unst in Shetland, the northernmost point. Oh, and this is interesting. The nearest IKEA is in Norway. God. There we are. And then Steph says Marshall Meadows Bay is apparently the northernmost point of England. And the PDV says Marshall Meadows Bay is in Berwick upon Tweed. So there we are. What about Boaty's Farm, asked Steve Nesbitt? I haven't got one. Sophie, the lovely Sophie, got the gifted membership from Mark. That's really kind. Joe says, have you been bidding on the City Rover? No, not yet, Joe. Simone said it was at 400 and something quid, I think, earlier this evening. It's a running car with an MOT, so it's got a certain amount of value just as a car to use, hasn't it? I will be setting up tonight or tomorrow a private messenger chat with Neil and with the other guys who signed up for this, and we will discuss our bidding strategy and our maximum price and the logistics and whatnot. If any of you are interested in joining this, then do shout out somewhere. Facebook, YouTube, wherever, just shout me and I'll make sure that oh, I've sent you a PM. I will get to that in a second. Thank you, Russ. Yes to the record, says I was Spotty Butty, and an album with all the tunes from you and Mustard, such as Wave Your Willy Around the Caravan. Can't wait for the 12-inch extended mix. Oh dear. I love that. That came out of nowhere, that Wave Your Willy thing. I mean, Trace is a godsend in terms of creating clips from the endless content that I put out. And that was her best ever, the Wave Your Willy thing. Mustard and I should be on Kids TV. We'd be the most inappropriate Kids TV hosts ever. Oh, dear God. Oh, Soph, you're welcome, darling. I think you're wonderful. I really do. And I'm blessed to have met you and Neil. I like so many people I've met through YouTube, you are an incredibly valued part of my life, and I genuinely can't overstate that. I would like to see a Gilbert Invader preserved, says Barry. Best car Wales ever produced. I completely agree. I've never owned one. I have driven one. The Peak District Viking says PDV sounds like something you should go to the clinic with. I'm just jealous of your name, Viking. Peak District Viking. So much better than mine. Darlings, it is gone midnight. Start saying your good nights. Throw in a quid on the City Rover from me, says says Barry. I'll send you an equivalent. No, I don't mind. You're free to message me over the weekend, John. Did we find out where General Cheeseburger went to? Yeah, absolutely. It was never a secret. We had a little bit of a fallout apparently, or he had a little bit of a fallout from me with me, and he's taken a little break from this channel. Hopefully, at some point, he will come back. So yeah, no mystery about it, but absolutely, you know, I hope he'll come back at some point. I'm sure he will. Night All says the artist I shouldn't refer to as the PDV because that sounds like a venereal disease. Viking. I'll just call you Viking. I might be interested in the City Rover, says Buddy Scrotter. However, I don't think anyone trusts me to have it now. Just a feeling I get. Well, you'd only have it for a portion of the time. That's the point. Good night, all, says Soph, and thanks to you all for the support. Good night and God bless. God bless you too. Stephen S. Paul says good night, children. Blackline says good night. Adam Pure Evil, good night, all. Bye for now, chat. And Jason says, John, have a good weekend. All to tar for now, says Barry. Steph says, night gang, sending love and stay safe all. Dad Smith says, good night all. And let me just say, thank you so much for your company all of this week. It genuinely does mean the world to me. These are my favorite times, the times that I get to spend with you, even if it's only virtually via the magic of the interweb. So sorry, wine burp. It's that time of night. You have to expect these things, don't you? Dear God. It's all downhill from now on, lovelies. You know, be glad I turned the camera off before 12:30 when things go. But yeah, thank you for your company all of this week. And please all have a great weekend. And I will, if I don't see you before, obviously I'll see you on the daily diaries and all of that, and in the Facebook group and on the WhatsApp group and all of that shenanigans. But in terms of live streams, I will see you guys on Monday night. Night all, see you Monday, Jason says Joe. Good night all, says Jimmy Quinn. Stay warm, mate, says Ross. Thank you, buddy. Jim says night all, been entertaining as usual. Ivor says, hope you all have a great night, everyone. Thanks for the chat. It's helped me a lot with my anxiety. Oh, that means a lot. It helps me with mine. So if it helps anybody else, that's absolutely brilliant. Don't forget to like, says Jimmy Quinn. I miss the fart music, says Black Lines. Shall I trick you to the fart music on the microphone? I can do that. It doesn't come across. I stopped doing the music because the microphone doesn't pick it up. The external microphone doesn't pick it up like the internal microphone used to when I played the music on the big Bluetooth speaker up there. But I'll put it on the microphone for now. It'll just take me a while to sort it out because I took it out of my main library and it is in one of my, hold on, intro video music, that one. And it is the one that is 55 seconds long. So I think it must be this one. Bear with. Right, we'll turn the volume up. And let's see if this works. If I put this right by the microphone, if I turn the microphone that way, here we go, hopefully. There you go, darlings. That's it. I'll see you on Monday night. Have a great weekend. Have a safe and peaceful night. Take the best care of yourselves that you possibly can. And much, much love from me. Catch you next time. With you, and indeed, Bosh.